YouTube, welcome back to Deep Speak with Brother Sadiq. This is your host, obviously, Brother Sadiq. Today, I just wanted to share a thought. It's always something or another on my heart, being a praying man. This show, as I say, is always about spirit. And so, I myself, as I said, I am a praying man, and so there is always a new bit of information to share, or a new thought to share, or a new experience to share. One thing that I think we should all remember and keep note of and keep mind of is that spirit is universal, and that the things that we learn about our own self spiritually are generally true about other people. Now, of course, there are the outliers. There are those who we might consider aberrations in society, who don't love their mom, who don't care for their children, who would not protect their wife or their kids, or, the basic nature of what humanity is. So when we talk of these things that I speak of, when I say the generality of humanity and the spiritual nature of us all, I mean the majority of us. Of course, there are those who are deviants in our society. So I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about us, average, everyday, normal, walking around citizens in society. There is something more to us than just our jobs and our everyday experiences. There is a purpose for our lives. There is a reason for our being, and it is our duty to discover what that is. It is also a duty to express ourselves to our fullest capacity. The Matrix, of course, is a challenging place. This world we live in, that's what I call the Matrix. So, for those of you who may not have ever seen the show or the movie, or me explain what I think the Matrix is, it's basically the world we are all born into that says I have to go to work and I have to do these certain things and I have to follow certain rules. But there is also the nature of the being that is internal, the experience of the individual soul, and its need and its purpose and its existence, in my opinion, is here to express. You are here to express yourself. You are here to give out what your heart has, to give out what God placed in you, to give out what spirit, the great spirit, mother, father, God, whatever, Allah, Jah, whatever term you may like to use. There is a source of your life. The spiritual aspect of your life is the light and the energy that causes you to wake up every day. And when you have these encounters in your life, whether they be at work, whether they be in the home, or just at the grocery store, and experiences where you are moved, whether positively or negatively, by another soul, that is spirit. That is life. That is showing the connection between us all. Our words have power. Our words have influence. Our words have effect on our world. This should be something that should be more commonly acknowledged, but generally speaking, most of us are moving through the matrix, through the world, through life, in such a routine and a rhythm that we've created for our lives that is comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with comfort. In our comfortable places, we find security, we find happiness, we find contentment, we find peace and patience. But life is not, in my opinion, about only finding happiness and the glow of a good time, right? There is also the struggle of determination and overcoming the experiences that we've encountered in our lives. They affect us, they transform us. And if we don't harness those experiences and utilize the information and the emotion in the correct way, then those things can become hindrances to our expression and to our perception and to our understanding of our own life and the world we live in. I have a general understanding that most of the people have a almost negative perspective of life. What CeeLo said it in one of his songs. He said, "Why is this my life?" It's almost everybody's question, right? Why is this my life, right? And it's almost, that statement has such a negative, energy with it. It's like, why is this my life, right? Why is that not my life, right? So, our perception of what life is has been so distorted that most of us do not enjoy life. We're not happy with our existence, our current experience, our way of expression, our breath of expression, right? It's a dark cloud. It's getting through the next day. It's, surviving. It's not a pleasurable place. And I believe this is something that we can all change and transform, and it's just a matter of perception. And being the fact that it's just a matter of perception, then that means you could change it almost immediately. Now, will you change it? Will you accept that what they've told you about reality, about the world, about life, about yourself, about your family, about your people, black folk? If you accept these things to be true, then I can understand why you may feel defeated within yourself. But if you do understand that this energy of life that causes you to wake up every day, that power that causes you to overcome things in your life, that is related to God. That is related to spirit. That is related to the light, the power, and the purpose for you being here. Overcoming obstacles is something that gives you strength. It gives you, it fortifies you in ways that those people who avoid those obstacles will never be strengthened. They will never be fortified. They will never become empowered in those ways. So many of us look at problems or difficulties or dilemmas or difficulties in our life as a negative experience. And it does not have to be. Though it may initially start out that way, it's a matter of your logging it into yourself, right? How you log it, how you perceive it, how you accept it, what you say about it, what you see this as being, right? I am going to try to give an example. I'm trying to think of a thing that I could use as an example, right? Well, people go through things, right? We lose dogs, we lose jobs. I had a friend who lost a dog. I mean, we go through things in life, right? But there are some things that are out of our control, and then there are those things that are stemming from something we did in the past, right? Something that led from, what the cause and effect, right? The experience of cause and effect. Some things are out of our control, are part of, the bigger picture, and then we have to learn how to take it in and what we're going to do with it. But it's all a matter of what you're seeing this as, what this experience means to you. So the reason I'm mentioning this, right, is because many of us see the world in a very negative way. And if we can only do the necessary thing of changing our perception about what it means, what it is, why is it happening, right? This, I believe, is one of the things that has helped me, and I think it helps most people who have some sense of, I won't say determination, I would say, kind of a thick skin, right? You gotta have to kind of be able to take the weight of what you're looking to do, right? So I'm gonna use a quick example. This is something I can think of. There was a young lady who mentioned that her son was highly spiritually inclined and that it was making him, kind of stand out at school and isolated, and his experiences at school with kids. Of course, he's 14 or 15. They, not understanding what he's going through and what he's trying to express. And of course, at that age, we're kind of just, everything's a joke and comedy and fun, anyway. So the lesson in this reality of one who attempts to explore their spiritual selves, right, or the spiritual world or aspects of spirituality, is that you're generally going to be outcast, right? You're going to be alone. You're going to be isolated. You're not going to have a large community of people who you share and who care about the things that you're studying, the things that you're understanding, the things that you're gaining, the information that you're hoping is going to be beneficial to yourself and to others, right? I don't believe that most of the people who do the things in relation to spirituality or get on this TV and try to share their beliefs, their perspectives, or anything in relation to positivity or, like I said, the spiritual experience or motivation or any of those kind of positive outlook mentalities. I don't think people do it for ego, for bragging rights, for props. Generally speaking, especially I'd say in the black community, and if you have just started your process, the issue is always who cares, right? Who's listening? Where's the importance? And why are you doing it, right? It's a lot to it, right? You have your personal reasons for doing it, and I'm going to explain my own. It's inspired. I don't get on here with a plan of what I'm going to say anytime that I get on here. I may have an idea and an outline and a reason or a thought that I want to share, and then I go from there. I allow spirit to kind of guide the conversation and lead it into what it needs to be. And so it's never about my ego. It's always about sharing and hopefully being able to relate my own experience to your experience, and therefore us not keeping these spiritual experiences in the closet, right? So the more we talk about it, the more we put it out there, the more we share our personal spiritual experiences and our perspectives about life, I believe it becomes a more spiritualized society, world, community, environment, and atmosphere. And I think that is a positive thing. I think that is good. I think that is where we're headed. I think that is part of the future. And so I always want to be one who promotes you sharing what is on your heart, sharing what is in your spirit, sharing what is on your soul, sharing your experience and your gifts, your lessons, your education. And there is value in that, whether you are aware of it or not. The fact that we are all interconnected. Your story affects other people when they hear it. Your story affects other people by your interaction with them, even not by choice. Like I said, if you go in a grocery store, you can sometimes, be a light in someone's day just by saying, hey, that hat looks great on you, or you know what I mean? Oh, that's a really nice jacket, or I really like that shirt, or I like that sweater. See, these are things that show the power of your words, and because you've affected someone else internally, that is showing the spiritual effect of your words and the power of our influence on our environment, other people, and ourselves. There is a study on, I think his name is Yorimoto? I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a study on water, and our body's being made of 70% of water, right? This power of our words, this power of our thought, these powers of internal influence that we have are being proven scientifically in studies in quantum physics. And there is one with this scientist who's taking water crystals, putting words on them, speaking to the water, freezing the water, and showing the difference, the transformation of the water crystal from the power of the word. The power of saying, I love you. The power of saying, you're wonderful. The power of saying, you're beautiful. The power of saying, you're nothing. The power of saying, I hate you. The power of saying negative things as well. So what this is showing is our influence, our power, our effect on our world through our perception and the way that we speak, the way that we think, and the way that we believe. And so what you believe about yourself is what is going to be true about yourself. So if you believe that you are a part of that which is to come, many of us recognize that we don't really fit in. We never have. We've only done what we could to fit in order to sustain in society, to maintain in the matrix. But ultimately, our gifts, our personal real self has never been seen by this world. It's never been exposed to the world. And generally it's out of fear, like I said, because of all of the judgments and social constraints and restrictions and assimilations that we must adjust to. With all of those things that you're doing to modify your real nature and character, it's causing things from anxiety to panic attacks to depression. Because you're not living up to your real self. You're not being who God made you to be. You're not expressing the heart of you. You're not expressing your true spirit. And you're allowing yourself to be limited. You're self-censoring, all based on what other people think. And as long as you allow yourself to be guided and directed and held down and, like a self-censored by other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's belief, then so be it. You'll never express, it's impossible for you to become your fullest self. It's impossible for you to reach your highest heights. It's impossible for you to glow up to your grandest version and vision of yourself. It is impossible. You're hindered. You're pinned up. You're internally restricted because your girl gonna think this of you. Your boy gonna think this of you. Your mama gonna say that. Your daddy gonna say that. Your brother gonna say this. Your sister gonna say that. Right? Your kids might even say this or that. But whatever it is that you're using to slow yourself, to stop yourself, to not get where you're going, it's gonna be your fault. It's gonna be your regret because God's time is here. We're living in it. And for those who are bold enough and brave enough and crazy enough to say what is, what must be said, to tell their truth and to share it with the world, regardless of what the world may say. You know what I mean? Regardless of what the world may say. God didn't touch them as he's touched you. God didn't share it with them as he shared with you. And if you keep allowing them to suppress you or allowing yourself to be suppressed by their presence, right? Some of them ain't even saying nothing to you. Some of them may even be on your side when you say what you're going to say. But when you don't say it, you'll never know. And your fear of what they may say, whoever they may be, is what's limiting you from being Don Juan Mega, right? Big baller, the best you could be. The level that God made you and brought you to be and to show and to shine out into this world. And if you're not willing to sidestep the ideas and the processes and the controls and the programs of the matrix that you know are in you, that you know you've taken on, that you know you've accepted, that you know you fight with, that you know you struggle with, then you can live in denial. But I swear I hope you don't. I swear I hope you shine out. I swear I hope you pull out every gift and God-graced talent that you have. I hope that you become the best version and the most beautiful expression of life energy that can be shown through a human being. Like I said, I posted today, I pray that the God power of life and love and And the great spirit of Mother, Father, God pours through your being, right? Blazes through your heart and expresses through your physical self its grandest version through you, as you, right? So I'm looking for heaven on earth, and I expect that it's coming through you. So if you're going to keep letting the matrix shut you down, if you're going to keep letting your community shut you down, if you're going to keep letting fears shut you down, stop you, reduce you in character, in being, in personage, you are from the God. You are an idea of the Most High God. He originated you in thought and said, I'm ready for this beautiful soul to be born onto the earth. The Matrix said, oh, let's limit all of his powers. Because if you read and study, this is the devil's world, right? So he not looking to see you shine out and blow up and glow up. But the Creator put you here exactly to do that, to defy all the odds and become the best of the beautiful thing that you can be in this world, regardless of what they say, regardless of what they believe. What you believe is what's going to make you who you're going to be or not. So nobody has to believe that you are connected to, heaven on earth. Nobody has to believe that you're connected to the Creator. No one has to believe that you're connected to that which is to come, which is God's kingdom on earth. No one has to believe that but you. In fact, most of them won't believe it. And that is going to test your belief in your own self about these things that you say about God and your relationship and your spirituality and your effect and your intention and your purpose for being here. Right? So, salute to all of those who are willing to pull off the mask, lay it all on the table, leave it all on the field, expose their heart, and trust that the Creator who made them, the great spirit, the Mother, Father, God, is going to nurture, protect, and bring forth from you all of the energy of the love that he put in you to give to this world. That's what this is ultimately about. So when you get ready and you get in line, there are certain things that you will need to practice and to be prepared to transform within yourself. One is forgiveness. Another is compassion. Caring about another as you would yourself. We all make mistakes. We all fail. We all are carrying flaws that are related to our ideas about ourselves that are entrained in us through the programming from our history, our family, our community, our et cetera, et cetera. And as we go forward, attempting to change these things in ourselves, attempting to better ourselves, to become the best version of ourselves, there will be those who do not see that because it's an internal experience of your transformation. So when they come at you, you have to be willing to forgive. You have to be full of compassion. You have to be willing to put yourself in their shoes. I'm going to tell a quick story. There was once a person who came to me who had unalived a young lady. And it, in my personal self, was detestable. In my personal self, I wanted to put my hands on this person. But God told me, I didn't send him to you to judge him. I sent him to you to preach to him, to give him information that is related to what I am using you for. And so when he came, I had to put my own personal emotions about him unaliving a young lady aside and give the information that I felt God wanted me to give. And I was not sure if I had given the correct word. When it was over, later, it was in my heart and in my mind, did I say the right thing? Because this is a critical scenario. This guy murdered somebody. Anyway, and later, long story short, through one of our associates, he said, I appreciate what the brother told me. I went to church. I got right with God. I tried to get forgiveness. The brother ain't here with us. R.I.P. 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 Love to that brother. R.I.P. Richie. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to my brother. But anyway, the point being, sometimes you have to put your personal opinion, your personal feelings, your personal judgments aside and be a tool for the Most High to utilize, regardless of how you personally feel. And so some of us will have to become greater than we see ourselves now. We'll have to become extremely forgiving. We'll have to become extremely compassionate. We will have to utilize mercy in a way we probably never had. Not meaning justice isn't there, but ultimately, with all of the flaws that mankind is experiencing, black folk, black America, lost slaves, confused. So we have to have ultimate compassion. We used to love each other through our problems. We used to get our family off of alcohol, off of drugs, off of whatever it was through love. Now we just shun everybody and we cast them off and we label them. And so until we're ready to become those souls who are willing to put aside the pain that one has caused you, recognizing that they are flawed, they are broken, and the only way that they'll ever get fixed is if someone loves them beyond that. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's soldier shit. Okay, that's hard. That is hard. Y'all think walking away is hard? No. Forgiving someone who has not asked you for forgiveness. Forgiving someone who has not shown any mercy. Forgiving someone who has not shown that they're compassionate towards you. Some of us are broken beyond the understanding of these basic emotional balances anymore. So if you intend to deal with our kids or fix any of our children who've been in generations of dysfunctional families and dysfunctional relationships, not knowing how to be or who to be, if you're not willing to have magnanimous compassion, magnanimous mercy, magnanimous forgiveness, then get your ass out the way. Because there are certain ones that the Creator put here to do such things. And if you are still in the process of training yourself to become that big of a person, then blessings, God, grace and love to you and light to you. But that's what it's going to take to fix this world. It's going to take going beyond what the world say. Oh no, would they show you what they show you if they show you what they is the first time, believe them. No one ever gets healed when people treat them that way. If everybody who does a dumbass thing, because that's their only go-to, is if no one ever goes beyond that dumbass thing that they've done to them and attempts to fix them, that person will never be fixed. And that is the state of our world. That is the case that we are living in, and you are being called on as a soul, as a tool of the Most High, to act in accord with the biggest version of yourself, your best version of life, and the necessity for each and every soul on this planet at this very time, anyone who might hear my voice, to hold a vision and a version of heaven on earth. That is your duty. That is your responsibility being alive in this time. Not to watch Elon Musk and what he doing. Not to watch the world go to war. Not to watch the politics, but to watch what your vision is and what your idea is and what your hopes is for what you would like to see heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is a power that is in you. And if you don't utilize it and focus and draw your attention towards the things that you want to see come to this world, then you're going to keep giving your energy to the things that you don't really want to see come to this world, which is war, the chaos of the politics, all of the racial bullshit, men and women fighting each other, our kids lost in the chaos. Envision your idea, your perspective, your mind's eye, your heart's expression of what heaven is on earth, and hold that. Live out that vision. Try to project that vision. Try to see that in your mind more than you see shaking booties and murder and kill and all of the chaos of this world. That is your responsibility. That is your duty if you consider yourself to be one of the souls who are here in the time of God's creation and kingdom come. So, yeah, that was a bold statement, but I'm tired of sitting around. Like I said, it's kind of masks off and gloves off, and it's pretty obvious that the other side has launched a war, and so gloves off. Let's talk about it. Let's put it on the stage, and I know which side I stand on, and I hope you do too. But as I've always said, and I will continue to say, all roads lead to spirit. And if you choose not to enact your own spiritual experience, that is your choice. But it is, I believe, to your detriment, especially in these times. So I think you're here for the expression of your soul and to help change the world by sharing that, because what you have, I need, and what I have, I believe you need. And we are all one big connected family as a human species. And as these other species come to meet us, we're going to need to understand that we are one human species. We are one human family. And if we don't utilize the gifts that each of us have, and we don't help to support and to consult with one another about how we can do these things in advance, then it's going to be to our own detriment. And it's not like you're not being warned, and these aren't being expressed by myself and others. I mean, I know my reach ain't as far as some others, but the fact of the matter is, whoever hears this has the opportunity to tell two people yourself. You got an opportunity to make a video and share what you know about spirit and life and the times we living in. If you choose not to, that's your choice. I really didn't mean to make this video this long, but like I said, I never have a plan for what I'm going to say when I get on here. So I just let the spirit do its thing, and I'm going to let this be what it is. I think I've said enough. I said this in faith. I said this in hope. I said this in belief that the God hears me and that the good is coming from it, and that the power of my words are just as sufficient to bring about this change as it is to tell you a punk ass and make you upset. So the beauty of the world is on its way. I hope you become a part of it. And as I said, all roads lead to spirit. One love, fam.